So this time I'll call to order the Solano Community College District Governing Board meeting of July 17th, 2024, and we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
President Honeychurch,
I'm here.
Trustee Cargo Reed,
Here.
Trustee Kara, here. Trustee Lopez Lara,
Here.
Trustee Thurston, here. Trustee Young, Trustee Boyce,
Here.
and Student Trustee Shreya won't be here until school starts.
The next item is approval of the agenda. And I'll, no, I think I was directing my attention, sorry,
Okay, sorry.
Yes, I would like to make, sorry, go ahead.
to Amber Cargo Reed, yes.
Thank you. Yes, I would, of course, I'd like to make a motion to approve this board meeting for July 17th, 2024, in honor and remembrance of Officer Matthew Bowen and first responder Bryden Nassity. Both were fatally injured in Vacaville last week, so I'd like to request that we have this meeting in honor of them.
All right,
I'll second that.
I'm sure we all agree with that. It's been moved and seconded, so all those in favor of the motion with the dedication to those two men, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is passed. Next item is comments from members of the public about closed session. Are there any requests to speak? I gather not. So at this time, we'll move into closed session and rejoin the meeting at 7 o'clock.
I'm Andre Williams. I'm the lab tech at Solano Community College for welding in the CTE department. I went to Solano, I got my 2-year degree in mechatronics, and then I got hired here probably about a year after that. I think the program's good. We have a lot of equipment here, different shears, iron workers, we have a plasma table, plasma cutters, saws. We can do all different processes of welding from TIG, stick to MIG. So we have it all here. So we have real good relationships with the unions. So if you come here, finish some classes, get at least a certificate, you should be able to get into the door almost any union. So if you want to get into welding, no matter if it's a career path or something you want to do around home, you know, this is a place we have all the stuff you can do and learn, and we'll teach it all. Solano Community College is the place for you.
If you're interested in the CIS programs or any CTE programs such as robotics or auto tech or welding, get in contact with us. You can send me an email and I will definitely get back to you. If you email me, I will get back to you within 24 hours and set up a time where we can meet and we can discuss the various programs that we have to offer. I know that Solano College has something for every high schooler in Solano County. There's no doubt about it. It's just that we want to have the opportunity to train you and to teach you so you can grow and enhance your ability to get gainful employment, but not only that, to be a continuous learner.
Hi, I'm Ruth Fuller, and I'm a librarian here at Solano Community College, and I want to welcome you to our new Library and Learning Resources building. This library has been built for you. We have many areas for you to study in, from quiet, silent areas to reservable group study rooms, as well as large tables for you to study and work together. We have a textbook reserve collection that holds the textbooks for most, if not all, of your classes. We have computers for you to use. We have laptops that you can check out and take home. We have calculators for you to use with your math courses. We have bones that you can use with your science courses. You can get further information at www.solano.edu/library. This is our virtual library where all of our virtual library services are available, including chat service with our college librarians. Also on this page, you have access to our article databases for scholarly research, as well as our popular magazine service, where you can actually flip through magazines like Sports Illustrated or Time Magazine. We have our ebook collections, we have our film databases, and many, many other resources for you to use for your school needs as well as for fun. Our librarians and staff are here to help you with all of your research needs.
I think that the opportunity we have here at Solano to get involved in our advanced manufacturing program is spectacular. I can't emphasize there's nowhere else in California you can work with hands-on this amount of equipment, this different types of equipment, automation equipment, robotics equipment. It is a standout program that we have here that's unlike any others in our region, and it will lead you to a rewarding career. I have all my students, getting jobs without a problem. You usually get to pick which jobs they want. I can't emphasize enough how a program like this can just really yield a great successful career. If you want more information, please contact me. Again, Douglas Green, my email address, douglas.green, just like the color, @solano.edu. Hope to see you here.
I stand.
I stand.
I stand.
I stand against hate.
I will.
I will.
I will.
I will be an advocate for social justice.
In the fight against racism and hate.
In the fight against racism and hate.
In the fight against racism and hate.
I will support diversity, equity, and inclusion.
В борьбе с расизмом и ненавистью я буду бороться всегда, стискивая кулаки и сглатывая слезы.
In the fight against racism and hate.
In the fight against racism and hate.
In the fight against racism and hate, if necessary, I will get into good trouble.
Sa paglaban ng rasismo, hindi ako tatahimik.
In the fight against racism and hate.
In the fight against racism and hate.
In the fight against racism and hate.
I will speak my truth. I will not be silent.
I will prioritize community.
I will be an advocate.
In the fight against racism and hate,
we commit to doing better, to being bolder, and to contributing to a climate where hate is unacceptable and mindfulness and compassion are the norms.
We are Solano College.
This time I'll reconvene the regular meeting and report of action in closed session. There was no action taken in closed session. And I understand there's no request to speak on the comments from members of the public, so we'll move to reports, the first of which is the Associated Students of Solano Community College, Kieran Wilson, or, you're an or now, or Surya Srinivasan.
Yeah, Shreya Srinivasan. So yeah, for the associate students update, we've all been off. It's the summer holidays currently, but right now we are working on recruitment, especially for the upcoming year, since a lot of our past ASSE members have recently graduated. Good for them. And so we're definitely working on recruitment, looking out to professors, seeing if they can publish things on ASSE so that we can increase recruitment for our Falcon Day. That's really what we're preparing for our next event, to make sure that we are heightening recruitment, because we definitely have a lot of plans for ASSE up and coming, especially after Encore, that we had the opportunity to, attend, got a lot of ideas that we'll definitely be bringing to the board for your support. That's the end of my report.
Can I ask a question? Can you give us an update on your political endeavors in Sacramento?
Yeah, for sure. So in terms of AB 2229, it's currently in Senate Appropriations. August 16th is when we'll hear the next update. So right now we're just trying to get a lot of support from different boards, different constituents. But based on what we've done in terms of lobbying, we've heard great things from all the senators who are on appropriations. So we have very high hopes. But if anybody is wanting to continue to support AB 229, please check out the SEC Reproductive Health Club Instagram page, where you can learn how to send letters of support and send emails of support. I think Teacher Voice can talk a bit on that.
I'll just share that. Yeah, we have a resolution that'll be on the agenda. That'll be from the board if we approve it to do. But you are also welcome as an individual or as a individual trustee to write letters of support directly to the committee too. But we'll vote on a resolution next time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for your report and your work on that project. Next item is item 10B, which is Academic Senate Report. Josh.
Good evening. Nice to see everyone today. Yeah, we have several things we're pretty excited about heading into the fall semester. During our Flex meeting, we'll have a joint meeting with administrators. We're going to be focusing on and thinking about dual enrollment, looking at and try to really learn as a community more about the options available, with the goal of then having senators and deans and others go out to the different schools so that we can come back together and really see what makes sense for our college. We're also hoping to, as part of that conversation, to really collaborate with and talk with faculty from our early college program as well, just to really, so that we really can be working together to serve our student population. We're also have been working, as you know, over this last year with again, the larger community on integrated planning, and that's something which is expected to be a larger conversation during the Fall Flex, and we're really looking forward to that. We also have, over this last year, really moved through the integrated bargaining process with Mary Jones facilitating, meeting with administrators and faculty to talk about how to pilot a department chair program on this campus. And we've now worked out a way to hopefully do that in a one-year process this upcoming year to pilot that. And we're also really looking forward to next week that several of us will be at the CMF graduation, the medical facility, which is a very inspiring and wonderful community to be a part of. And I'm excited and looking forward to that. And that concludes my update. Thank you.
All right, thanks very much for your report. Question from Karima Kara.
You mentioned that deans would be going to schools?
So like school, like divisions, like, so like, liberal arts, math, science, these sort of things, right? So the goal is that we as a college, as part of Vision 2030, from the Chancellor's Office, are supposed to be looking at how to really engage in dual enrollment. Part of Vision 2030 is 12 units by 12th grade for all California high school students. As a statewide academic senate and as a local senate, our goal is sort of how can we do some version of that we have the bandwidth for, but that also doesn't have any possible negative consequences, right? And so there's a lot of concerns and perspectives, again, really driving with what's in the best interest of the college and of our students. But right now, there are some decisions we need to make as a college. And as an academic senate, with 10+1, we really want to make sure we're fully engaged in that conversation. So it's really the first step is just getting the word out, getting the information out, so that way we can begin to hear from folks from different parts of campus.
So does this mean that you will be targeting Vallejo as an option? Go and look at the schools in Vallejo, and please, Dean Williams, jump in anytime. This is, of course, my little pet peeve.
I will definitely say that even when we met in Vallejo a few months ago as a Senate, that we've, for a long time really said, how can we more fully engage the community of Vallejo, work with it? We have had, for example, with MIT in the past, we had a program, right? So we've done some of this in the past. But yeah, maybe VP Williams can speak more to where we are with this.
Sure. As vice president, I'm happy to answer that question. Vallejo has been a focus of ours for a long time. Vallejo, as you know, has a lower college-going population than other comparable cities its size. So it's been a tough nut to crack for us. We really have to do a better job of meeting with high school counselors in Vallejo so that they're recommending Solano College instead of like Contra Costa or DVC or something else, which we know they've been doing in the past. So it is a concerted effort on our part. We need to get more Vallejo students into college classes.
Yeah, for sure. So I can somewhat speak on this because I had taken college courses prior to being part of the early college program. And so trying to be enrolled at Solano was a difficult process as an outsider. And so I'm curious, when you're going and doing this outreach, are there specific people from Solano going to these high schools and explaining how to, enroll for these classes? And is there a specific processes in place to make that an easier application for students?
Absolutely. We know that enrolling in college is a challenge for a lot of students. It's not an easy process. There's a number of steps. And we have, when our outreach team, when we had a fully staffed outreach team, we were having events out at the high schools. We're also having events on campus too, where we'd bring students in. And our outreach team was prepared with a presentation to help walk students through the enrollment process, the orientation process, getting their CCC Apply application in, and helping them understand enrollment and all that kind of stuff. So it does take a lot of effort to ensure that the process is smooth and understood by people. It's complicated, and I know that students struggle. So we're trying to create opportunities where there are people there to answer questions for them.
All right. Thank you.
About the struggling. Now, I've been on this board now for 6 years, and I have promised myself every bloody year that I would take a course at Solano. And every year, I have not been able to do it because it has been a challenge to my very small brain. And I don't understand how young people can do it. And I'm not that old, but I'm obviously, it's difficult. Just so that you know, it is really difficult for people to actually navigate.
Can I ask, at what point do you get stopped? Is it CCC Apply? Did you get past CCC Apply into the college processes?
There's been many different hoops that I haven't, I'm not tech savvy. So all I'm saying is that I've decided my next semester, I'm going to walk into and deal with a human being. And it shouldn't have taken me 6 years, but gentlemen, and I'm only saying gentlemen because you're only 4 men there, but it is not an IQ test.
No.
Because it can't be an IQ test. Please don't tell me.
It's not an IQ test, but I agree. And I think a lot of it, as David's pointing out, is from CCC Apply, which has now, I did the same thing. I took several Spanish classes here, right? And I had to declare a major. I had to tell, what my income was, what this was, so many different questions, my high school GPA in English and math. And I just want to take a Spanish class. But a lot of it is actually an attempt to identify resources and services for students. So then when you have members of the community who want to take a class, like there isn't an easy way to bypass that. And unfortunately, we can't control what's in CCC Apply. That's really at a statewide level, but it is a real concern. It makes a lot of sense, yeah.
Recovery, because I really thought you were going to say I was a dodo. Thank you.
No, I was not.
Thank you. Sorry. Oh,
I
one
have
more
a question. Do we have something similar to, I think it's like Facebook, when I want to know how to work on my iPhone, I just go to Facebook, type in the model of the iPhone, and then how do you do such and such? Then there's someone sitting at a desk, and elementary steps walk me through step 1, step 2, step 3, and I know I figured out how to do what I'm inquiring about. Can we have something like that, or do we have something like that at the college for students who want to enroll? They can go to the website, and then they type in the question, and someone can monitor them, say this is what you do, step 1. The next step, you go to this, and you click on this too, and they can sit down and monitor their computer, and then go through those steps when they try to enroll and not get bogged down.
One of the things that
Do
we're
we have
working
something like that here?
No, exactly. One of the things that we're working on the website is in the past there were two different websites: the counseling webpage and the admissions and records webpage, and each of them had instructions on how to become a student, and they were not the same. And so we've been working for the last couple of years on the student services side to align that, have a single pathway for enrollment. And one of the things that we're doing is a lot of the instruction sheets were very complicated, lengthy, follow all these steps. What we're talking about right now is creating short 30-minute videos for each step of the process, which I think students really appreciate. It's easier if they can just watch a video that takes them through the screens and does that. So that's one of the things that we're doing. I know it's not a live person at the time, but it should help. And then as we get our outreach team built up, we've added to that team over the summer. We will have more sessions. We do find it's very helpful to have students in the room in a mass session and then just walk them through the processes.
The process that you just mentioned that's in place, has it been evaluated, gotten feedback through an evaluation from the students of how effective it was?
What we know is we know how many students start an application and abandon it, and it's very high, but that's typical of most colleges.
Okay. Thank you.
We also, for the last couple of years, have done this Falcon and big enrollment a few days before the beginning of the semester. We did it last year. Melissa Reeve and others from Student Services are doing it the Wednesday before the semester starts this year. We had a very large turnout last year, and so that's the time where people can really get walked through a lot of this. So in your situation, right, this would be something where someone could come in on campus and have counselors and other staff from 400 building available to walk people through. So, and a lot of this is really new for us. So I think we absolutely have more to do, but compared to where we were like 5 years ago or something, I think we made big improvements.
All right, thanks for this.
One last thing, maybe I want to challenge, not everybody, because Quentin is in a PhD program at UC Davis, so he gets a pass, but really, the rest of the board members, we could all stand to take a class here.
I was able to enroll here.
Well, then, maybe you could be in a French class or something. It makes sense that we, as board members, actually see what it's like. So
Right, I agree. That would be a good idea.
We are a community college. We accept everyone. So.
Right. Thank you.
We accept everyone.
College. We accept everyone.
even former teachers?
Absolutely.
Yes, especially.
We
Can
we are all lifelong learners. We should be lifelong learners.
Right,
Yeah.
lifelong learners. Thank you. We have to move on now to on the report section, and now it's time for Dr. Kelly Butler to give the College Governance Council report as well as her own report.
So I don't think there's a college governance report because we've been on break. So we won't have a report until the faculty are back on ground. So we can go to the next report, which is the superintendent report. And I've been here only, it's been 10 days, 11 days. And I just wanted to have a report sharing that I have received a wonderful welcome. It's been warm, inviting. The campus has really come out to support. We've had a welcome event where the CSEA and the Local 39 employees were able to join me for a lunch in this room. And I believe it was 100 plus people present. And I did share a photo in the last email update that I sent to the board, but it's really been a good welcome. I've had the opportunity to meet the leadership team, work with them. I just met with Josh today with the Academic Senate. And so as we continue, I'm looking forward to just building close relationships with our Solano faculty and staff and students, and look forward to working with you as well. So thank you for the opportunity.
All right, thank you for your report tonight, and welcome to your first meeting.
Thank you.
We'll now move on to item 11, which is the consent agenda. All matters listed under the consent agenda are considered by the board to be routine and will be enacted by the board in one motion. There will be no discussion on these items prior to the time the board votes on the motion unless members of the board, staff, or the public request specific items to be discussed and or removed. Time will be provided before the vote for clarification questions without removing an item from the consent agenda. So, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I move that we approve the consent agenda as submitted.
I'll second.
All right, moved and seconded. Any questions on it, on the item? If not, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Consent agenda is approved, which brings us now to item 13, because no items were removed from the consent agenda. Action items, I'm calling upon Salabate. It's approval of new board policy, violence-free workplace. Tell us all about it.
Thank you, President Honeychurch, members of the board. The legislature passed a law that requires the district to have a workplace violence free of workplace policy. That is Labor Code 6401.9. So we're bringing this to the board for approval as required by that law. Again, we want to make sure our employees are always safe and taken care of. And this just helps give us another tool in our toolbox for that. So I'm bringing this for approval this evening.
All right, thank you. So is there a motion to approve the new board policy, violence-free workplace?
I'll make a motion to approve 13A.
I'll second.
All right, been moved and seconded to approve the violence-free workplace policy. Any questions, comments? Go ahead.
I'm a bit worried about this, and I understand the reason. This is America, and everyone has a gun, and
Well, not everyone.
Well, there's a lot more guns than human beings in America. What I'm concerned about is the concept of strict policy. Who decides it? I mean, I think we've had a very, very interesting example just recently when Biden said, I wanted to put Trump in the bullseye. That was an excuse for, you can interpret that as a call to arms. What I'm saying is that who decides in a situation like this? Because I kind of find that words are, I grew up with a mother who said, sticks and stones will break your bones, but words will never hurt you. So I don't quite understand where we moved from words were, you could say anything, to a situation where words were, come on, somebody help me on this one. That's what I'm trying to say, is that this could be used in a way that I would not feel comfortable about.
There's also Cal OSHA. This is required by Cal OSHA to have a workplace violence plan that we are currently working on. Chief Travis and myself have put it together. We're sending it to Dr. Butler for her review as well. So that outlines the process of when this needs to be followed under Cal OSHA and legal requirements. So, we have some input into this. Knock on wood, our college has been very lucky. We haven't had any of this that I've been aware of. We do have some people who are will get upset sometimes, but nobody's ever crossed that line to where we've had to utilize anything like this in the past. But again, Cal OSHA has put together a template that we have to follow, and they have designated certain things that we have to do. So we're again putting that together. We have a requirement to investigate. We have a requirement to take these serious, much like we do with sexual harassment complaints, discrimination complaints. Basically, that puts this on that level that we at least have to investigate and have an administrative decision made based on a thorough investigation of complaints around workplace threats and violence.
And a third party would investigate.
That has been the college's practice under our previous SP, and I believe that is also Dr. Butler's interest as well. If we do get a formal discrimination complaint or sexual harassment, we have hired a third-party investigator that's not associated with the district to come in and do that investigation and then render findings that are reviewed at the time by the SP, myself, VPs that may be involved, and then there's an administrative determination made based on the findings of that investigator.
The other thing that concerned me was, I'm sorry,
Mhm.
Dennis, but that it was violence by employees against coworkers and other persons. And I thought, other persons, what does that mean? Husband and wife, a neighbor? It's a very open question there.
In our situation, we wanted it to be members of the public who are on campus, students, vendors, other people who may be on our campus. If we have some type of rally taking place or some political activity that's been approved and there's some threat of violence against it, that's what the intent of this is to allow that. We are protecting everybody who's on our campus. And to be fair, it goes both ways, right? If we got threats against employees from outside group, we would investigate those threats as well under the same idea. So, thank you.
So, just to sum up, I gather that this is required by state law to have such a policy. So if we don't have such a policy, what happens to us?
We could get a complaint filed with Cal OSHA, and then Cal OSHA would come out and investigate, and we would have to, whatever they decide the violation is, could be a fine. I mean, they could levy all kinds of different levels of penalty. They would probably give us a warning the first time saying, you need to create this. This is the law. You need to do this. If we don't do it on the second time, more severe with the fine. A third time could be some type of sanction. But yes, that's where it would go. It'd be a Cal OSHA issue.
Thank you. So I'm going to vote yes on a violence-free workplace. That's my opinion. So all those.
I think you made a very good point. Is this wording from Cal OSHA, or is it our wording?
The wording in the policy is our wording. That is the way we wrote it. We looked at other districts. We had legal counsel look at it, and that's where all of this came from. So.
All right. So any other questions, discussion? If not, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is item 13B, which is a resignation to retire, and this is also your jurisdiction, I think.
Thank you, Trustee Honeychurch. This one is a little near and dear to my heart. This is an employee that has worked for me for the last 7 years while I've been the HR manager/director, Karen Mitchell. So I have a statement I would like to read to the board. President Honeychurch, fellow members and fellow trustees, I'm honored to speak today on behalf of Karen Mitchell, who has been an integral part of Solano Community College for almost 25 years. It is with mixed emotions that I share the news of her decision to retire from her position as a human resources generalist. During her tenure here, Karen has consistently demonstrated exemplary dedication, professionalism, and a deep commitment to our institution's missions and student. Beyond her professional contributions, Karen has been a valued colleague and mentor, known for her supportive nature, collaborative spirit, and unwavering integrity. She has earned the respect and admiration of her peers and has been a source of inspiration to many within our community. As Karen embarks on her new chapter in her life, she leaves behind a lasting legacy that will continue to resonate with Solano Community College and beyond. Her dedication has set a standard of excellence that we will strive to uphold in the years to come. On behalf of Solano Community College, I extend a heartfelt gratitude to Karen for her years of service, commitment, and unwavering dedication to our mission. Her presence will be deeply missed, but her impact will endure as a testament to her remarkable contributions to our institution. May she enjoy this next chapter of her life with the same enthusiasm and passion that she brought to her work here.
All right, thank you. Is there a motion to accept the resignation?
I move
that's been
that we,
submitted?
excuse me. I move that we accept her resignation as submitted.
I'll second.
So it's been moved and seconded to accept the resignation and retirement of Karen Mitchell. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And congratulations to her from all of us. The next item is Solano Community College District and the CSEA Chapter 211 MOU agreement. Sal Abate, again, as a presenter on this, thank you.
I apologize for all the HR agenda items, but we haven't had a board meeting in a while. So this was an MOU that was agreed to with the CSEA bargaining unit. This would be a pass-through of the state COLA from this year's budget of 1%, with a 0.07 being retained by the district for any covering of additional costs. CSEA was happy and ecstatic that we were able to pass COLA through to them. So we're presenting this for board approval.
All right. So is there a motion to approve this
move that we approve
CSEA?
item 13C.
I'll second that motion.
Moved and seconded. Is there any questions, comments? If not, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is item D on this number, new classified manager job description, IT project manager.
I think there's one more after this, and then I'll be done.
Don't apologize. This is all of our jobs.
President Honey Church board members, this is a new classified manager job description for an IT project manager as our IT department continues to grow and take on some efficiency projects of automation and some of our other systems that we have manually done for many, many years that probably should have been automated a long time ago. We are looking to bring in a project manager to help facilitate those projects and move them through the process. The projects that IT will be looking at will have direct impact on not only internal systems, but our students as well. So that is why some of the funding would come from student equity funding, because it will directly impact our students. Again, this is an opportunity to gain some efficiencies in our current business processes with this job description and this hire.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the job description of new classified manager?
I'll make a motion, but I do have a question too.
Sure.
I'll make a motion to approve item 13D.
Second.
And your question?
Yeah, what is it? So as you mentioned, it's being duly funded through some grant funding and some student equity funding. Is there a percentage on that, or is that planned to be? Will that change each year depending on what we do? Like how will the funding for this work? Can you maybe get a little insight?
That's yet to be determined. So basically, the guidelines for the student equity funding basically has to be reasonable and justifiable. Justifiable being that it has to support our goals and activities of our student equity plan. And we have a series of action items in our student equity plan. And one is leveraging technology to streamline student communications and information. And it lists some activities and some projects. Pretty much most of our projects are going to impact students, as Sal mentioned earlier. So this project manager position takes on a project, which by definition is a temporary endeavor with a start date, a defined start date and end date. Can manage all these projects from conception to, through execution to the very end. So it's hard to determine at this point what the ratio will be of the percentages, because we have to look at what projects are going to, what the 3-year horizon looks like on these projects, and then go from there.
You just brought up another question that I was thinking. This is a full-time position, right? I mean, this isn't a limited time position, though.
Correct.
Okay, so
full-time.
So just to clarify, what you're suggesting, that depending on the projects, there may be different percentages from different pools, or?
Yeah. So I'd have to get back to the board on the actual ratio if the board's interested in knowing what that looks like. Basically, these are the identified funding sources of the majority of our projects: security and student impact, student success related, obviously, right? Which 90% of our projects, like generally speaking. But
Yeah, and typically when we set these braided funding positions, we set the ratio at the beginning of the year, understanding that there's going to be variations in the flow of the work. It's not like it changes every month depending on what the project is.
I would just add, the student equity plan, we revisit every 3 years, so we would have the opportunity every 3 years to update the plan, and if there continues to be IT projects, we may see that continue to fund.
All right, thanks. If there's no other questions or comments, then we'll ask that the board vote on it. All those in favor of the motion to approve this IT manager job description, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Next item is item E, District and International Union of Operating Engineers, Local 39, successor contract.
Thank you, President Honeychurch, board members. This is our successor contract. Our contract expired with Local 39 on June 30th of 2024. This bargaining that was just completed will take our contract through June 30th of 2027 and be effective July 1 of 2024. I do want to extend my gratitude to Mary Jones, who was also involved in this bargaining session, but also to our Local 39 bargaining team and their labor rep. They were very collaborative, and we were able to get through bargaining. Believe it or not, in a 3-hour session, we covered their entire contract and was able to reach agreement, and that was in no short order because of their willingness to focus on IBA. But this will wrap their contract up for the next 3 years.
So thanks very much. I forgot. Is there a second?
I second.
Moved and seconded to approve the operating engineers successor contract. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Thanks to Salabate for all your work on this. Congratulations. It's good. It's a different time now. So we'll move on to the bond issues. Contract amendment to Optima Inspections for additional project inspection. Lucky Lofton present.
And while he's getting set up here, President Honeychurch, I'm very open to any friendly amendments if someone wants to vote on any of these individually. But I would, so let me know. But otherwise, I will make a motion to approve item F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S. Down to S here. And while he's getting set up here, this is a large number. Oh, thank you. This is a large number of. We met with the Measure Q committee before this meeting to discuss some of these. This is a large number just because we had 2 holidays. We had a Juneteenth and then 4th of July holidays. So there's been lots of things happening over the summer. So lots of changes, to projects. So are we hearing from?
All right, it's been moved and seconded. So you're talking about G.
I think we're talking about items F through V.
S.
V. Oh.
S. No, F through S. Sorry.
F through
S. Some of the other ones are resolutions and things that need their own individual. So F through S.
All right, well, thank you for the motion. So is Mr. Lofton able to be here?
There he is.
All right.
Thank you.
So we've, just so you know, maybe you heard us, but Trustee Boyce has made a motion to approve most of these, and I'm impressed by his ability with the alphabet.
Well, thank you, President Honeychurch, and members of the board. Yes, we do have quite a few due to the holidays that we've experienced. We have sent reports to the boards on all of these items, along with project updates. I hope that there's a full understanding on each of these items. If there's anything in particular on any of these items, I would more than happily answer any questions, but the list is very long and the details have been provided previously. So.
Other questions?
Yeah, I know you did a great job in Measure Q of walking us through the details. Is there maybe a summary version of the largest change order here? Sorry, I don't remember which number. N. Yes, yeah. It's half mil major change to our central plant. And so if you, I think it would be worthwhile both for public, but also for faculty or staff who might be looking to know what's happening with our central plant. It's not a huge visible project, but it is a huge impactful project.
Yes, thank you, Trustee Voice. On this particular project and on this particular change order, we've experienced the worst or the most challenging part of this is the significant delays that we've experienced with the jurisdictional oversight, which is DSA, and with obtaining materials and equipment, which has been a challenge for each and every project that we have. It seems that supply chains just haven't recovered from the COVID pandemic that we had for several years. We're still struggling with electrical equipment being produced, or maybe there's just such an appetite in construction that there's just so much being ordered, it's just not readily available. So that ended up pushing our project schedule significantly into the later months, which pushed us into summer, which requires that we end up providing temporary cooling for the campus. So for the summer session, for the few buildings that we operate, we've been providing 500 tons of cooling. For the fall, we would have to provide 1,300 tons of cooling. We are currently planning to have the central plant up and running for the fall semester, but if that does not occur, we're prepared with a plan B to bring on even more chiller capacity. So the significant change order that you see here is primarily the result of dealing with temporary cooling needs for the campus.
Thank you. Are there other questions on any of the items that are included in the motion? If not, all those in favor of Trustee Voice's motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And that brings us to, was that included O, right?
Mm-hmm. It included all of those.
All right, so, and P?
Mm-hmm. All the way to S. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Which now brings us to the 5-year construction plan with which you must be familiar. So Mr. Lofton's presenting this. Go ahead.
This is an annual projection that we put forward to the Chancellor's office of all of our construction plans over the next 5 years. Many times it's an update to last year's plan. Sometimes there's changes just depending on the projects and the funding available. This is primarily a very simple update to last year's report to the Chancellor's office.
To approve item T, 5-year construction plan. I'll turn on the mic. Do you have a question?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
Talk about Vallejo in this 5-year plan. Oh, I apologize. Could you talk about Vallejo in this 5-year project or plan? Just a little summary.
Okay, so going over the items in the 5-year plan, I am just reviewing the plan very quickly. I don't believe that there's anything significant for the Vallejo campus at this time. I also don't believe there's anything significant for the Vacaville campus at this time. The primary needs have been the main campus, the 50-year-old campus here at the Fairfield campus. So as I review this list that we prepared several months ago, the primary items you would see at Vallejo and Vacaville would be IT upgrades to the networks at those buildings or at those centers. But we don't currently have any major plans for construction projects at either of the centers. Our primary focus is infrastructure and remodeling of the 50-year-old Fairfield campus.
All right, thanks. Any other questions, comments? If not, all those in favor of the motion to approve the 5-year construction plan, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Next item is a resolution authorizing construction and use of prefabricated metal storage building on the Fairfield campus. Mr. Lofton?
Thank you once again. So we need to expand the storage for furniture and equipment that we have here on campus. That storage facility is behind the facilities building. We already have multiple storage facilities there for hazardous waste, e-waste, furniture, but we need to increase that. We currently are using a rented portable building that we pay rent on. We would like to replace that with a permanent structure. We would have to go through the DSA process for a building that will, none of these storage buildings ever have faculty or students enter them. And with a resolution from the board, we can procure a pre-manufactured building without going through the DSA process. We can go through normal permitting processes, which would save us money and time and allow us to move more quickly to address the storage needs that we have for the campus. We have other buildings that faculty and students don't enter, such as the central plant, the pool room. You know, those buildings don't currently have that kind of declaration, so they are required to go to DSA. And it's that kind of process that we're trying to move past with a building that is fully permitted and fully acceptable for storage needs.
All right. There are questions of Mr. Lofton on this proposal for a prefabricated metal storage building?
I forgot. With the board's approval, we would post a sign permanently on the building that would say, no faculty or students allowed. We would ensure that faculty and students are not allowed in this facility.
All right. So is there a motion to approve the resolution?
I move for approval.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. So I have a question. So is this going to be an eyesore on the campus?
So not at all. As I said, we already have a portable building back there. It's actually located between the softball field and the facilities building. It's in a fenced area behind 1900, the facilities building. Nobody sees I don't think our storage buildings that are back there attract any attention. If you've ever attended a softball game on the campus, you have seen them, but they just don't draw attention.
All right, so it's been moved and seconded to approve the resolution, so please call the, oh, you have a question?
Sorry, I'm just intrigued about the no faculty or staff allowed. That threw me, to tell you the truth.
You have the same issue.
It's an IQ test. I'm just surprised at the no faculty and staff allowed. I mean, it's obviously a rule somewhere, but do we have that on everything else there too?
Right. So, I mean, there's a history lesson here, and I'll try to be very brief, but back in, I believe it was the 1930s, there was a significant earthquake in LA that toppled multiple school buildings. And in response to that, the state legislature passed the Field Act. The Field Act ultimately led to the creation of the Division of State Architects. to oversee the Field Act and its compliance. Subsequently and over time, the Division of State Architect has become the jurisdiction over K through 14 school buildings, and their oversight elevates building code requirements such that they ensure the structural integrity of our buildings, the fire life safety integrity of our buildings, the compliance with Americans with Disability Act. Those are the three primary concerns for DSA, although we are required for building purposes to also ensure that we're compliant with mechanical, plumbing, and electrical codes, all of the building codes. But they are specifically designed to protect faculty and students. So all of our buildings fall under that jurisdiction unless no faculty and students are allowed in that building, and that can only happen by board approval. Typically, faculty and students are in all of our buildings, except for mechanical and electrical buildings like the central plant, as I said, or storage buildings where we store hazardous waste or e-waste or excess furniture. I could send you, there's actually quite an interesting paper on DSA, on the Field Act, and on California's building code requirements for the K through 14 school buildings. It's fascinating to me anyway. California builds the best and safest buildings for its children. I think we can be proud of that.
All right, any other questions? So all those in favor, well, no, it's a yeah, I got it. It's a resolution, please. I think I said, please call the roll, then we had another question.
Then we had a question.
Okay, so going back to the call the roll, please call the roll.
President Honeychurch.
Aye.
Trustee Kara.
Aye.
Trustee Cargo Reed.
Aye.
Trustee Lopez Lora.
Aye.
Trustee Thurston.
Aye.
Trustee Young.
Aye.
Trustee Voice.
Aye.
Student Trustee Shreya.
Aye. Yeah, Shreya Srinivasan.
Srinivasan. Thank you.
This brings us to item V, which is contract award to One Workplace, L. Ferrari LLC for construction services for the campus boardroom technology replacement project, which hopefully will improve our microphones so that I can hear what you're saying. So is there a motion to approve this item?
So moved. I'll move to item 13V.
Second.
Right. Any discussion, questions? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is under Student Services. It's the Institute for Women's Policy Research Grant. I know Vice President Lisa Neely's not able to be here, so Vice President David Williams will present this item.
Thank you, President Honeychurch and members of the board. VP Neely is at a conference tonight and asked me to present this item for your approval. This is a grant for sexual and reproductive health education on our campus. I am probably least prepared to present this because your student trustee, Srinivasan, was the major driver behind this. This is a $25,000 grant that will help her and the Reproductive Health Club on campus provide information, resources, and support for our students. So we asked for your approval of this grant.
Thank you for that introduction. Is there a motion to approve the Institute for Women's Policy Research Grant? Anyone who's against this? From the meeting.
Item 13W.
Second.
Yeah.
A second? Okay.
Sure. Yeah. I think Rosemary beat me to it, but
Yeah, I thought. Sorry.
You have a comment?
Yeah, I do, of course. I single-handedly wrote this grant back in December after it was sent to me through an email. I applied as a whim. I've never written a grant before. I never really knew how to do it. But I did my research, used the resources that I had accessible online, submitted it, and it was just a really good experience. And people that we worked with to submit the grant later on in the other steps as we went through the first process, we're really appreciative. And this grant has never been given to a club before. It's only ever been given to institutions who already have sexual and reproductive health services implemented into their structure. And so we are kind of like a test trial for them, but also we have proven to this community and honestly across the United States that students are capable of doing work. And we have brought worth $25,000 to this campus for those resources. So I actually am going to a conference next week for the grantee orientation with my advisor and also with VP Neely, and it's going to be incredible to represent Solano there, but also see how this can help us and improve us in the next 2 years.
Great, thank you.
So, yeah, congratulations on a great job on this grant. So truly, it's remarkable. So I think it's been moved and seconded. So all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, thanks. Next item then is Technology Services. Vice President John Corneliuson is the presenter. What do you have to say about this?
Well, let me tell you all about it. Good evening, President Honeychurch, members of the board. This is a 3-year agreement with a company called eVisions that provides our software that basically is an add-on to Banner and provides such thing as our reporting engine, which we use for MIS and all types of other reports and key performance dashboards. Pardon me. Dashboards and also Form Fusion, which is basically software that provides templates for a lot of our key business documents and our workflows, right? Such as like transcripts, invoices, things like that. And lastly, IntelliCheck, which prints our POs and checks. So pretty important software. We need to renew this. We are coming off a 5-year agreement with the same company, and now we are renewing it for 3 years instead of 5.
I'll make the motion to approve item 13X.
Second.
Aye.
Yes, thank you, President Honeychurch, members of the board. This is for a one-time purchase from SARS, which is our counseling, appointment, and reporting system, basically. It's old software. It needs to get moved to new servers so we can secure it. This was originally approved last fiscal year under the consent items, but due to the vendor's availability, we weren't able to schedule the work, so we're bringing it back to the board for this fiscal year, and so we can get this work approved and done.
All right, thank you. Is there a motion to approve the contract with SARS Software Products?
I move for approval of item 13Y.
I second.
Right?
All right, any other questions, comments? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. And the next item is information items. No actions required. Do you have any information items, anyone? What's that? Go ahead.
Yes, I just wanted, I know that we were not here for session, but I wanted to recognize and acknowledge that Solano Community College, last year I had a conversation with the VPs and the people who made it happen, that we finally had the Women's Veterans Day celebration on June 12th. Last year, there was a Senate Resolution 42 that was proposed by, not I, but I read it, and I thought it was so good. Why aren't we doing something like that here? So I just want to extend a very big thank you to all the faculty, the VPs, and the former CEO, Superintendent President Celia, who made that day happen. I could not be here, but I heard it was amazing. And even the governor said and recognize this college, because this is the first college to actually recognize Women's Veterans Day on June 12th. So I just wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
All right, thanks for those comments. Next item is announcements. Are there any announcements from the board, staff, or faculty? All right, items from the board. Apparently everybody's speechless, so we'll move on to the motion for adjournment, item 20.
I move that we adjourn the Solano
I second.
Thank you for that dramatic pause. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is successful and our meeting is therefore adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
7 minutes.